This is the first hearing of a 2-year session, and I want to be very clear to the American people what I believe that the majority, the Republicans in this committee and in Congress will do over the next 2 years. They will attempt to rewrite history. They will attempt to absolve themselves of any of the decisions they made over the last 2 years in order to fit their own political narrative. Everything from the pandemic response to January 6th to holding President Trump accountable himself. We've even had colleagues here that believe that some of the January 6th insurrectionists were patriots and heroes. They're not. They're traitors. That's what those are. Those insurrectionists were traitors. So let's focus on unemployment insurance. The chairman and the majority of the Republicans voted 3 times in 2020 for UI benefit extension. 3 times. And that's a good thing, because it put money in the pockets of Americans who were struggling to make rent, to pay food, just to get by. But after a month of voting to extend those benefits, 1 month later, they voted to slash and to stop those unemployment benefits. What changed? Did they not know about some of the concerns of that program at that time? No. What changed was we had President Biden. My hunch is if it was President Trump, they probably would have voted to extend those benefits once again, but it wasn't. And why are they cherry-picking this program and not focusing on other programs? So now let's talk about the Paycheck Protection Program. You know, as members, we voted to put the money in the pockets of constituents who need it the most, to keep their small business afloat. We voted to put money in their pockets, not members of Congress. We have colleagues from Georgia who had $183,504 forgiven. Other Republican members had up to $4.3 million forgiven. Why not focus on this program? That's because if they did, they would have to answer these questions regarding their own businesses, their own loans, and why were those forgiven and not others. So if we want to talk about handouts, we want to talk about fraud, you know, let's talk about it. Let's not cherry pick programs. Let's pick all the programs that were in place during the pandemic. Let's talk about if we want to do oversight, let's do it. But this isn't about oversight. It's about passing the buck and making one too. So don't be fooled. The American people shouldn't be fooled by them trying to rewrite history and their role and responsibility and the implementation of those programs. I believe they were a good thing. You know, yes, no program is perfect, but it really did keep afloat the American economy, the American worker, and made sure that, that we didn't fall into a deep, deep recession.